If you're in 12-step, you know all about step 4, taking a fearless moral inventory of ourselves. I'm not going into the second half because the first half is daunting enough. Taking a fearless moral inventory of ourselves. In other words, somebody said it, that we are 100% responsible for 50% of what happened. Like, what? And I'm looking back at my fraught childhood. And I cowered in fear much of the time. I hid. I walked on eggshells. I tiptoed, literally and figuratively. I tiptoed around the house because the sound of my footsteps bothered her. And it was years after I moved out, my roommate would say, "Why do you walk on your toes? Did you know that you walk on your toes?" Like, oh, yeah, I guess it's just an old habit. So taking any kind of responsibility for what happened to me is difficult. No, it's impossible. I was not responsible for her behavior, was not responsible for how my father enabled her. Lise, go see what's going on. Oh, I'll go see what she's crying about. Like, Dad, why did you marry her? Oh, that's right. She looked good with your car. Sorry, Dad. I don't blame you either. We both got abused. Terribly. But I've been out of the house since I was 23. Went from one abusive relationship to another. And it's not always romantic. I moved in with a roommate who stole from me, who gaslit me. I remember when I went in for one of my revisions with the gastric band, like an actual open surgery kind of thing. And I had left a dirty pot in the sink. It was soaking. And I came home and it was still there. Like, you couldn't wash a pot for me. Oh my God. It was just relationship after relationship. So, what we're responsible for is healing ourselves so we change our, forgive me, vibration. I know. Even if you want to say, well, just change our overall behavior, demeanor, the way we walk into a room. Sometimes people look like they're waiting to be abused. It's their posture. So, we have to heal ourselves. Yes, we can vent. Yes, we should vent. We have to get it off our chest. We have to hear other people say, I went through this too. You're not alone. It was wrong. What happened to you should not have happened. There's no abuse that should have happened. We didn't bring it on ourselves. We didn't. But I mean, it's only recently. I've been out of her house, my parents' house. Notice how I say her house. She was in control of it. Didn't matter that my father worked to support us faithfully. I got out at 23 years of age. Sorry, it's very warm in my house. The heat's on and it's warm outside. I got out at 23 and I just went from one abusive a relationship to another, got fatter and fatter and fatter, and my addiction got worse and worse and worse. Addictions. While still being enmeshed with the narcissistic, abusive mother. Enmeshed, financially dependent. I didn't know how to get out until a dear mentor at it wasn't a meeting, it was a class. I'm a certified hypnotist. Yes, I should make a hypnosis channel for you. If you go to my other channel, I uploaded one. It's an older one, but I uploaded one for you recently. My Lisa Sarjay's channel. Yeah, to become certified in hypnosis, you have to put in a lot of hours of learning and then practice, which I did. And in the room with me, of course, were wonderful people I knew from work. And it was another mentor of mine was the master hypnotist leading the group. And I remember Susan, she said, Lisa, you have to tell your mother no. And I'm like, about what? She's like, pick a thing. Learn to say no to her. I was terrified. I was terrified to say no to her. I have to move the camera so you can see this fat orange chicken. I have an orange chicken. Hi, chicken. We ate where she wanted to eat. We shopped where she wanted to shop. I had to listen to her shushling and shushling and complaining about my father. No matter how many times I told her no, please stop. I was so frightened of her cutting me off financially. I didn't believe in myself. I could scrape together my financial aid papers every semester to pay for my school, getting myself deeper and deeper in debt. Yeah, I handled that. But it was like always the bare minimum, just treading water with my... It was so hard to get on my feet. I had to diminish her. Like she had to diminish so that I could raise up. And while my father was still alive, if I rebelled, I told her no, I behaved in a way she didn't like, she took it out on my father, who was helpless. He had dementia. He wore a diaper. And she would take it out on him, not call the aide who would come to give them baths if she wasn't in the mood. My best friend and his wife live in the house. You know, they did. My best friend passed away. Another heartache. And they would tell me, your father smells. I'm like, oh my God. I say, Ma, did you call Lucy to come and... Oh yeah, she came. I'm like, why does Daddy smell? He doesn't smell. Like, what do you do? I know what I could have done. I could have had Lucy's phone number. I called her myself. I didn't have the money to pay her. You do something that my mother doesn't want done, she'll rebel, she'll scream, she won't... I didn't call you and not pay her. Lucy quit, by the way. She was the bather. This is before my mother had round-the-clock aides. She quit. And my best friend and his wife who lived there, because you could hear everything in that little house, heard her say, I don't need this. I don't need this. Because my mother was abusing her. So, no, I didn't speak up about stuff. Bye, boo. I didn't speak up about stuff. I was always afraid of the backlash. And it makes me feel like a coward. I feel like a coward, like I could have done something sooner. I wasn't strong. Or I was strong and I just... So step 4 in 12-step is you take a fearless moral inventory. So what are my behaviors that may have hurt people as a codependent, as a people pleaser? So from being abused by her, I certainly wasn't functional and healthy in my relationships. You know, my friendships, a couple of boyfriends. Really? Did I have any after I moved out? One steady one for a while. He cheated on me. He was a sex addict. Cheated on me relentlessly. This was back before social media. So in order to hurt me, his mistress would leave photographs of her in a towel in my living room. And she would leave them around for me to find. And when I cried, there was a neighbor who once in a while I would chat with, and she asked, she's like, who's that blonde lady who comes in and out of your apartment during the day? I'm like, what? There's a what? My mother? No, I don't think it's your mother. She pulls up in a red sports car. Oh my God. Now, I was extremely fat at the time. So what did my neighbors say? Well, I mean, how could you compete with that? Ah, I have to laugh because I'm looking back like, wow, I would never take that kind of abuse now from somebody. Not him. I wouldn't let somebody talk to me that way. Like, the neighbor didn't mean it. She wasn't trying to be mean. Yeah, how could you compete with that? I don't know. I thought I was a good girlfriend and supportive, and I people pleased and grocery shopped, and anyway, so we take a fierce moral inventory of ourselves in order to see how our behaviors might be hurtful. So, no, I was not hurtful toward these people who abused me, but I was hurtful toward other people. You know, not being able to keep people's confidence, secrets, gossiping, being very controlling, manipulative. I don't want to do it now. I don't feel like taking a fearless moral inventory now. But that's who we can heal. We can't heal them. We can't heal the narcissist. We can't heal the alcoholic. We can't heal the drug addict. We can say, well, you know, I'm going to meetings. I bet you would benefit. But you can't drag them. It won't work. They have to want it themselves. So what are we left with? Working on ourselves. Changing our vibration. Just our general appearance and demeanor, so we attract healthier people into our lives. Because changing our behavior, well, those are the things we can change. Help me to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know it's me.